Welcome to the Africa Briefing Room, where we provide analysis on the latest developments shaping the continent. Today's commentary focuses on Mali, where on August 14, 2025, authorities arrested two generals, including General Naima Saga, the first woman to reach brigadier rank in Mali's Air Force, along with 55 others, on suspicion of plotting to overthrow the government. However, it was the arrest of one of the individuals that escalated the situation to the international stage, Yann Vezilier, an employee of the French embassy in Bamako and a former lieutenant colonel in the French Air Force with nearly 30 years of service. The Malian government alleges that Mr. Vezilier was operating on behalf of French intelligence. France categorically rejected the allegations, stressing that Vezilier is an accredited diplomat protected under international law, and demanded his immediate release. This arrest has thus become a critical flashpoint in the strained relationship between the two nations. According to the Malian authorities, Yann Vezilier was engaged in activities far exceeding the recognized functions of a diplomat. In both military and diplomatic spheres, protocol and rank matter deeply. For a mid-level diplomat or embassy staffer to meet with two generals is highly unusual, a move that hints at something serious, well beyond the routine diplomatic dialogue. For the Malian government, this encounter was interpreted as a direct threat, consistent with their recurring accusations of French interference in national sovereignty. Mali's security minister went further, alleging that Vezilier used his position to mobilize military and civilian leaders to undermine the regime, allegations France has strongly denied. The timing of this arrest matters. Relations between Paris and Bamako have been deteriorating for years. After France's 2013 intervention to drive out jihadist groups, followed by its Operation Barkhane mission, the French military established a lasting presence in Mali. But over time, the French presence began to be seen by many Malians, not as a solution, but as part of the problem. A pivotal moment in Malian resentment toward France came in May 2014, when the Prime Minister's visit to Kidal triggered deadly clashes with Tuareg rebels. As Malian soldiers came under attack, French troops stationed nearby did not intervene, a decision that many Malians saw as abandonment. That incident became a powerful symbol of French betrayal, and is often remembered as the moment when public distrust and anger toward France sharply intensified. Following two coups, Mali's leadership asked Paris to withdraw troops in 2022, ended defense accords, and pressured the UN peacekeeping mission to depart. This wasn't just a policy change, it was a geopolitical realignment. Since then, the military government has accused France of sponsoring terrorism and working to destabilize the country. In that context, the arrest of Yann Vezilier was presented in Bamako as evidence of French interference, a move the authorities argued justified their decision. France's legal case rests on the 1961 Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, the cornerstone of modern diplomacy. The treaty states that diplomats shall not be liable to any form of arrest or detention, and Paris insists this principle is unquestionable. Yet, Article 41 of the Vienna Convention makes it clear, diplomats are expected to respect the laws of the host country and avoid interfering in its internal affairs. And when host nations believe there is a serious threat, they often argue that exceptional measures are justified. History provides precedents. The United States, for instance, expelled or restricted Libyan officials on terrorism suspicions in 1981. The United Kingdom took extraordinary steps during the Skripal poisoning incident in 2018, expelling Russian diplomats on a scale rarely seen. For those who may not recall, Sergei Skripal, a former Russian spy living in the UK, and his daughter were poisoned with a military-grade nerve agent in Salisbury. The British government accused Russia of orchestrating the attack, and in response, the UK and nearly 30 allied countries expelled more than 150 Russian diplomats. This large-scale response showed how, even when international rules protect diplomats, national security threats can drive states to bend or override those limits in practice. In this case, France points to the Vienna Convention as its shield, but its own record shows that diplomatic immunity has never been without exceptions. Consider the case of Asadullah Assadi, an Iranian diplomat accredited in Austria, arrested in Germany and tried in Belgium, with French support for plotting a bombing on French soil. Despite Iran's protests, European courts ruled that because Assadi's act of terrorism took place outside his posting country, he was not entitled to immunity. France and its partners asserted their sovereign right to self-defense against terrorism. It must be stated clearly, they acted within their rights. The plot was an act of terrorism, and any nation has the authority to protect its territory from attack. Yet in defending itself, France set a powerful precedent that the threat of terrorism could outweigh the protections of diplomatic immunity. Then there's the case of Teodoro Nuema Obiang Mangi, widely known as Teodorino, the vice president of Equatorial Guinea and son of the country's long-serving president. French courts pursued him on corruption charges, accusing him of embezzling public funds to finance a lavish lifestyle. They seized his cars and sought his Paris mansion, even as Equatorial Guinea claimed diplomatic immunity. While the International Court of Justice ordered France to respect certain immunities, particularly regarding the mansion, other seizures and criminal proceedings went forward, sending a clear signal that French courts would prioritize anti-corruption and the rule of law over broad claims of immunity. So when Mali arrested this diplomat, it wasn't inventing a new rule. It was applying the same principle of sovereignty, the idea that protecting national security or defending the state's integrity can take precedence over a diplomat's immunity. In many ways, it is a stark mirror image of the arguments France itself has made. In conclusion, the reality is that we do not know what concrete evidence Mali possesses against Yann Vezilier, or what he was truly doing with those generals. What is clear, however, is the political symbolism. For Mali's leaders, this is framed as an act of self-protection, a way of defending the nation against threats both inside and outside its borders. For France, it represents a breach of the Vienna Convention. As this situation unfolds, it raises the deeper question for this new era. Who gets to decide the rules, and whose rules really apply?